Hey guys, this is a previously recorded game. I was trying to record it live, but I didn't realize I didn't have the space for it. We're playing against O-O. The Chinese player is like a top 100 Kong 3. Um, Kind of our first match of the day. Probably should warm up a little bit more. But yeah, this map, Marshland, I'm pretty sure. Wetlands. Wetlands and Marshlands gets kind of confusing. Wetlands is interesting because you open up with these fish. There aren't a lot of sheep to gather. There's definitely potential to open up, like drop my TC here, gold deer opener instead of um, get fish. And I kind of went onto the fish when I probably didn't need to. I do want to look at the spawns here. Gold is not safe, and neither is stone. So this is actually a map where potentially like horseman rushing could be a really good play for delaying an opponent. Um, Definitely tower rushing would be the meta on this map with spearmen as Mongols, but you could do it with horsemen as well. Um, yeah, we would definitely be getting really close to denying. Now he'd put more villagers and we just get damage and just force micro. But yeah, here's another thing: we can deny fish. He can get one shoreline fish here. So I do think that's kind of a play there that we don't notice. And we had some bad stuff with our build. Our straggler tree got repositioned because of the town center, so we didn't get our 50 wood start, which we normally do, which does delay your build decently. It's about a 10-12 second delay. He's going school cavalry, tapping up late, but with a wheelbarrow, so not a big deal. Got a villager lead. I think against French, going stable opener, specifically on this map, is definitely worth it. Wetlands, right? Wetlands, yeah. So Wetlands is definitely a map that I think Dark Age Stable's got some play. And then definitely stable opener Keshik against the Knights might be worth it, I think. 20% faster. But I think it's a better fight until Cass when he gets like his upgrades and stuff. You can take kind of a little bit of early tempo, especially on this map, so definitely would have kept him from wheelbarrow. Forced a delayed barracks out of him, kind of a reactionary type of a thing. So you can see how late this is. Starting at 4 minute 20, we start building when it should have been around like the 4:05, 4:10, ideally. And he's gonna spot us. This is something on this build that I think I might need an extra villager on. I should have more wood is the big thing. I should have 50 more wood. I should be at 80. I should have been able to be dropping a tower here soon. I think that might be the key against French too. Dropping an extra tower, potentially not bringing that extra villager until that extra tower is secured. You go over here, we're harassing here, but it takes forever. No, he's flanking around the back. Right, we got avoid the horseman. So our build is definitely delayed. We're definitely a bit delayed in terms of what we should be doing right now, how things should be hitting. And tower gets up. Lose a villager that was already garrison, which is pretty dumb. But losing that village is actually a pretty big deal. A little bit of bad micro there. You can see his eco advantages, how it's really pulling ahead now as French. Killing 2 vills is nice. We're denying that stone, and now he's just pulling a lot of vills. And a tower here. So at this point, our army stayed at base, right? If we had gone more aggressive with this army and been trying to raid over here on the gold, this could have been pretty successful. Because he only has a horseman here, and we could have denied this and then kind of flipped the script in terms of aggro. Floating a little bit of everything. He's floating a lot of wood. He's kind of not sure if he wants to go 2 TC or production. Double broadaxe here was probably worth getting. What's this looking like? We got some time on that. Stable. Yeah, so I think this right here is a big mistake. Like with Mangudai, it's tough sometimes, or it can be like, especially when I'm not warmed up, I'm very apprehensive about sending my Mangudai out until they're masked up. Because they can get caught out, especially with these horsemen and stuff. But you can see these 2 Mangudai are dealing okay against this horseman here, right? Not the best, but okay. So if we bump into something, we should be okay. His army is rotating. It's got a scout. Potentially having killed that scout would have put us in a better spot. But either way, I think our army sitting back here so much as it did was a mistake. Kind of a bad rally there. We're ahead in terms of villager kills, but you know, he's got big eco difference because of his passive. French is a pretty strong civ. I really do enjoy it, or I think it has a really good scaling potential behind the aggression, right? Cheaper eco bonuses and all that stuff. Here we're looking to raid, but we come back to look to raid way late. Super late reaction, losing way too many villagers here, so yeah, just really sloppy play by us here. And having an army here and losing track of this and not having that properly positioned, all those things kind of add up. And now it's kind of a point where he's got towers up and our army comp becomes a lot less useful now. Because it's all Mangudai, right? This TC is going up. We know that the TC was going to be coming up soon. This is why we sent this army kind of forward to do something. And we're trying to... this is the obvious play, right? And I should have seen it coming. I need to be sending this army over sooner. And we're sending it over now, but I should have been sending over sooner. And the fact that he's been able to invest into it... I mean, he does have a large eco lead. I think maybe opening Keshik, doing the play a little bit cleaner probably would have helped us. But at this point, I feel like it's pretty difficult for us to get back into this game. Maybe if I went like mass trade behind this, like went 2 or 3 markets. Even that idle army there wasn't the best, but yeah, that's gonna go up. We lose a Mangudai. He's gonna drop ranges. He's got gold. He's got food secured. Another little dive here. Another villager kill. Scouts are definitely annoying. Even denying this other stuff, he would be set up again anyway, so... Yeah, I think it's just kind of tough to say what was the right call on this. I think a Dark Age play is definitely viable on this map. And then against French, I think just opening Keshik is probably just a better play. Maybe Mangudai and stuff. I think maybe if I go more up front and just intercept him and fight him head on. You know, I catch that French Knight before it raids and I just kite it down and make him just lose value and kind of pin him up. And while we focus the fight here, I do need to do more double-pronged attacks. This map is kind of chopped up with all the wood lines, so it kind of makes it funky to do that. We're starting to trade. Oh, you know something I don't do? I never pull my villagers off of gold even when I start getting some decent trade. It's kind of a little bit of mistakes. A lot of little mistakes. And that's what happens, especially without playing a warm-up game. Or not playing a lot these last few days as well. That doesn't help. Obviously not to detract from our opponent, because he is very good in playing well as well. Board, double tower. So he's smart on here, always investing towers on all this pocket eco. Because there's a lot of pocket food to be had, right? So it's always worth to drop towers. That's why we're dropping towers here. Something we could have done a little bit better. We still don't have broad axe and we still don't have wheelbarrow, so we've messed up our build quite a bit, because we should be having all of our ecotechs in. And that's part of the reason we rush pickaxe as part of our ecotech build here. Is so to make sure we get all of them up, but you can see good reaction times here. Khan, obviously, like, them attacking the buildings gives away a lot of info, which is a bit unfortunate. But militarily, we still have the lead. This is the army we have to really fight or find, you know. A little bit late on our timing. Maybe we get this outpost up sooner. We're in a little bit better spot, but because we, you know, we're right here, we decided to kind of commit to a push here. We're not able to kill anything. It's a little bit unfortunate. It's a tough angle to run through. Yeah, so there was no raids to really be had. And we're building into a raid comp, and he's kind of just built into a safer boom. And we haven't really eco boom behind this. We're only on 3 traders right now. Kryptonite wood. He's just gonna move to a different wood line, I'm sure. Then we get cut out with these archers. A little bit of a misclick there. That's a misclick. I clicked it onto this archer and shift clicked onto another one. And so I don't know if we win that fight, but this should have been a little bit more cleaner trade for us. Here we got an okay mix for Keshiks here, so we're gonna win this fight. But maybe losing a little bit more Mangada than we perhaps needed to, but it's a pretty clean sweep. Maybe behind this, if we're on triple market here, instead of dropping another stable, I'm already on 2 stables, maybe dropping another market and just trade booming here. But even then, we've lost a lot of eco. We're in a pretty rough spot, and we could kind of feel that we're in a rough spot, because we know that his TCs are scaling so much nicer. And we haven't gotten a lot of damage in, so we were kind of just setting up to catch the next raid. Raid's going to the south and raid's going to the north. And we're just trying to find these raids. We do see this knight, and so we're gonna send our army to the north here. But we had nothing for the south, and we are rallying to the north as well, where our army is. We thought perhaps we had some more units there, but it turned out just to be two knights. And we're just kind of chasing forever. Again, if we had Yam here, would have been a pretty big deal. That's little details that definitely add up. Here, this raid is still coming in. He's committed still to knights. He's massing them up. And a decent amount of archers. But he's just playing really safe, not committing to a bunch. Just smart. Over here we're on pocket eco, 5 villagers. There should be a tower here, so again, sloppy play by us, not dropping this. Especially since we are fairly wood heavy right now, and yeah, just hemorrhaging villagers all over the place. Which is not good. And then we're reacting, trying to bring troops back, and we got more villagers here, more weak villagers. Not enough garrison spots. And yeah, we've just lost a ton of villagers, which is really bad. Again, sloppy play, and definitely happens when you play sloppy. Okay, he's able to get out with 1. But now he's got a decent mass, right? He's got 14 archers, he's got 10 knights. he's posturing for castle, and these knights are going to be much stronger come castle. Still only in one market. Again, we've lost a lot of eco, so in retrospect, yeah, if we had more markets, we would have been in a better state in our gold. Maybe these villages would be on wood sooner. It's tough to say. And we cleared out this pool, and instead of going and keeping on the pools here, which is probably the right move, we transferred down to the south to get on these deer. Clean up this knight, but again, picking one knight, the value is not really that great here. It's a big raid coming in with 10 knights. And we were massing troops here, but now we're going to go counter raid ourselves. We figured on this deer patch, but again, great job by our opponent dropping towers on this. This should probably have some towers on it. It wouldn't hurt. It is expensive, but at least a tower. I'm not one to talk because I have no towers. Constantly we've been caught out like that. 4 Keshiks, 1 horseman, 2 Mangada, and a scout against 10 knights. We get rolled here. And we're still massing units. Royal Institute, smart play. It'll leverage better. We show our army here. Again, if we had our whole army up north, we can probably fight this. We should have been looking to patrol and catch this. His scout runs into us. So we should have been able to catch this scout out. If we caught that scout out, that would have changed the dynamics of this fight quite a bit. And we just back out and kind of remassing. We got more Keshiks over here. That'll help kind of win this fight for us. He backs out, and we mess up by going up and not keeping him in vision. We look at our vision, we see him, and then we just click here, but we needed to keep chasing, especially with these troops over here, and we're rallying up here. It's like a defensive posture, but really, we should be looking to cut off because we had the numbers. If we killed like these 10 knights, it puts them in a much less valuable spot, because now he's going to get bloodlines and veteran knights, and all of a sudden, he's going to get a lot more value out of those. And if we had been able to pick up those 10, it would have been a pretty big deal. We could have forced a fight in mid during his age up. At this point, though, eco gap is getting enormous. The game is pretty much 100% over. And we're on only 9 traders, so yeah, a really bad spot here for us to be in. Behind this, we're just going to mass up troops and kind of push. We're looking to castle age behind this as well. Potentially a second TC or more infrastructure drop. We're dropping a bunch of pastures here. But we're looking to find a pretty good raid. Again, too late, too passive, reactionary gameplay, and that made it pretty easy for him to castle and get all this buffer time behind this. Great reaction time by him spotting out this this raid very quickly. This tower has incredible range, by the way. And while he does that, he pushes our main base with his knights. Upgraded veteran royal knights. Bloodline is about to come in. 40% health, which is wild. Mows down just tons of vills. And sure, we got a couple units here we're massing, but not the big majority. We gotta fall back here. He's gonna have a good mess of archers here. And even his archers are castle, and there's arbs in here mixed, so he's actually gonna do pretty well against our cav. Even though these are mostly archers, there are arbs in here that are doing some pretty decent damage. The micro on like the units and stuff is pretty annoying how it works there. Not very good, but you can see the eco difference, the damage done, and we just kind of know we're dead. We're just kind of processing and just playing it out a little bit more, getting a little bit more warm up, and we are wanting to play a little bit more. And so yeah, that was a defeat, and that put us in D3. Definitely some things to be taken away would be the Dark Age play on that map is definitely a possibility, since it looks like gold spawns far. That being said, our next match, we'll just live record now. Again, I wanted to live record the placement game, but I messed up, so forgot to click it. But yeah, I mean, you can see. I mean, the new season has a lot of changes, and it's interesting in many regards. But there's certain things that are very oppressive. Um, but that's one thing for sure. That's a pretty big buff to the French is that castle age timing with a veteran or with the royal bloodlines. They're getting an extra 10% health now, which is a pretty big deal. So something to definitely watch out for. And probably yeah, prolonging the game into dark and in feudal is probably to our benefit. So I can see yeah, Dark Age play on that map for sure. On other maps, it might be favorable as well. The thing is, can you get the tower up before if he makes the spearman out? And it's tough to say. And say like you get that RNG with him spawning his gold in the back. Now you're running up all the way to the back, and then it was transfer villagers. He might be okay because it's so far back. It's tough to say. So we've only played 5 games so far this season, and there's definitely still a bunch to like figure out and feel out. We got a pretty long queue here, so we're gonna just put it on pause and we'll start it back up once we find a match. Okay, well, it's a good thing we put this on a very long queue or on a pause because we had a very long queue. 5-minute queue time. We're playing on Marshland against 1234. He's playing as Delhi. Marshland, I think we don't have to think about funky spawns. I think everything spawns safe.
Жарлиг буулгад бие зорчсоо. Зарлиг ёсоор болгосоо. Жарлиг ёсоор болгосоо. Юу? Хатан бэлэн байна. Дагсугай. Дагсуу. Та юун хүссэн буй? Заларсуу. Хийнэм. Би зорчном. Эндо оруулууга.
I have a feeling he went to the north. And I'm trying to think, do we want to go Keshik here? I usually go Mangadai, or I usually go Keshik. And we played a game earlier as Mangadai in our placements. It didn't go great. But there was an opening for damage if I commit a little bit harder. So maybe we do commit to it this time and just see if we can't make it work again. I'm trying to think. I have to remember. It's one thing definitely about this game is if you do stop playing it a bit, especially during a season like this with a lot of changes, it definitely makes you feel like a little bit kind of lost in some regards. This is cool, having the trade post right here definitely helps out quite a bit. That's a good amount of sheep, 9, and we found an additional 10, 11, so we're already at our halfway point, and we're more than happy with that. We'll rally on the wood here. These sheep will go over here. So he got these back sheep, which is okay. Again, we have our sheep and we're fine with that. And then we just disconnect one. Come over here, and you will come over here. Luckily, we are at 0 food there, so we don't have to do any micromanaging here. Plenty of sheep to go around.
Хийнэм. Хатан бэлэн байна юм. Би зорчсон.
Okay, no rally on the gold. I think it's the wood line where we have to really focus on denying food. I'm trying to think. Yeah, the big thing was the wood line. Maybe getting a tower on this wood would be a pretty good thing. We'll try it again. Let's see how this goes. I think, yeah, we'll commit to the Mangudai. And, yeah, we might be able to make this work out pretty good. This is going to be his wood line, so we're going to have a pretty good view of that. Of what he's kind of doing. Go to the south here a little bit. This isn't his first gold. Okay, there's his first gold. Okay, just kind of harass here. His bears are in the front. And we did mention going Khan hunters after our Mangudai here. Actually, so there we go, like this. And we'll just get axe because we kind of have to. One more on the gold, and then we'll rally on to wood here. And then I kind of want to take a villager over. Kind of risky, but oh my gosh, we missed our opportunity here.
Танд юун хэрэгтэйгүй? Цугаар бэлт. Зарлиг буулгах гэж байна юм.
Би энд байна юм. Би навсуу.
Ажилд бэлэн. Анхаар юун хийх хэдүүгээ морилж байна юм.
Будхаа харсан.
Анхаар ном сонирдлугаа. Амар байна уу? И агслугаа. Өглөгнэм. Зарлиг буулгах. Ударалт. Эдлүгээ. Турамутун. Зарлигийн сор болгосон. Асуу. Бэлэн байна. Тарваач бэлэн. Ажилд бэлэн. Онорд турхаггүй да. Зарлиг ёсоор зарлиг бод. Ханасгүй. Эдлүг отсоо. Анхаар тун. Отс агслугаа. Турамутун. Жаатгсуу.
Харуунам. Булшируу.
Ариу гүйцэтгсүү. Тарваач бэлэн. Тарваач отсоо. Турхаггүй да. Ажилд бэлэн.
Okay, that worked out pretty well.
Юун хийх буй? Түүнийг барьсан. Амар байна уу? Хонордод хуун торхагуу да бариндо. Ударалт. Турамууд хуу амдуга тардаг буудад. Агснуга торхагуу да бариндо. Марийг гансуу. Жаатгсуу. Улитба.
Турамууд өтөрөмөл.
Yeah, I think we missed that snipe there.
Зэрлэг анхаарал хуу.
Зэрлэгийг дагсуу. Мөн харваач онцоо.
Этлүгэ.
Турамууд хүн зэрлэг ясаар болгосоо.
Этлүгэ. Онцоо. Турамууд удар. Агснуга.
Юу хийх вэ? Зэрлэг болгох гэж байна. Би
Тарваач мэдээ онцоо. Тарваач аюу гүйцэд танд юун хэрэгтэй буй? Айда оруудуга. Түүнийг барьсуу.
агслуга.
Турамууд өтөрмөл. Амар байна уу? Орхогода. Ордоо. Би агснуга. Өтөрмөл.
Мөр харваач. Тэгсүү.
Агснуга. Жарлгийг дагсуу. Юм бит мана жарлиг болгодуга.
Ударал. Орхгода.
Тарваач бил мөтхөм.
Агслуга. Өтөрөмөл.
Маныг харуулж байна. Хоёр торхгүй.
Турамууд сонирдлуга. Орхгода.
Анхаарна.
Бэлцүгэ мүдхү.
Харуулж буй.
Мөр зэрлэг ясаар болгосоо. Зэрлэг
Хоёр торхгүй да.
турамууд ударал. Өтөрөмөл.
Yeah, a lot of villager deaths. Just sloppy micro by our opponent here, unfortunately. Yeah, I was gonna say. So this worked out pretty good against someone else. You know, definitely didn't work out as good. We had a little bit cleaner build, but some sloppiness, like running through here. I think we could probably had a chance to deny this tower and this shoreline fish play, but I'm not 100% positive. Once he started losing a lot of bills, it was pretty rough for him. We need to set this market up a little bit sooner. And these villages here is fine, but we probably should have pulled these over to like Boar now. There's 7 of them, so we've got room for almost one. No wheelbarrow, no horticulture, no survival techniques. So again, really, really poor on our text there as well. So still playing pretty sloppy, but was a decent victory, I guess. Yeah, that's a pretty long video. We're at half an hour, so I am curious real quick, because if I do another match and it lasts for like a longer match, then we're not gonna be able to. It'll probably cut out. I probably don't have the memory for it. But I would like to see this last match when he rotates out to Shorefish, not just because to see if I could have denied it, but just to see build orders. Sometimes these kind of sneaky plays, some people kind of start doing it on these maps or see them on these maps and they start doing it a little bit more. But he's still in the match, and so we can't check it out, it looks like. Ooh, he just lost on Dry Arabia. Who did he lose to? Louis. Makes sense. Mongols against French. Actually, well, now if I guarantee you this is it's a tower rush. So it's a Dark Age Spear rush against French. I mean, it's a really strong play, but it would be cool to see what some of the pros doing, some off meta stuff, and see how they kind of approach it. But it's something we won't probably see, not against French at least. It does make a lot of sense to go tower rush with Dark Age Spears. Okay, we're going into caster mode. We also had a really good spawn here and good sheep haul, which helped out quite a bit. And so yeah, he did kind of go to the north here. That's what it kind of felt like, because we were missing. It seemed like we were missing out on sheep. Oh, but he cut to the south. Funky kind of a play there. He goes immediately out onto these. And there's no scout. So gold is safe. Super safe. Not even fringe dangerous. Super safe gold. So if you do go Dark Age, sure, you would have been able to deny this. And maybe as with Dark Age Barracks, this is definitely the play. But for him to just immediately do this without even scouting it is very ballsy. I guess you have some time, so you can probably collect everything you need to. And then he scouts out, and then, you know, on the rotation he would scout the barracks, and then he would pull back. So I guess it makes sense to play kind of greedy early on like this. Though I'm not sure food-wise if it's worth it. It might be, because, I mean, it's fish. Basically, our villagers on board at that point. So okay, so it was super early. Yeah, we can't really deny that unless we do a Dark Age play. And you're basically coin flipping, if not worse than a coin flip, because berries here are pretty decent for Delhi too, so it's almost a worse chance coin flip that you'd be taking. Trying to deny opening fish. Besides the distance to walk and all that type of stuff. Another possibility sometimes is opening docks there, so there's still quite a bit of meta to be figured out on Marshland, so that's definitely something that could happen, like a dock opening. And if people start doing that a little bit more, then you could probably progress into a Dark Age opener a little bit more on that map. So that'll be it for this video. Thank you for watching, guys. Next video, we should be back up into Conch, so I'll catch you all next time.